हेलो एंड वेलकम टू रेडियो सिटी इंडिया। मेरा नाम है हैंसन और स्टूडियो में मौजूद है मिस्टर आशुतोष। वेलकम टू द स्टूडियो। और फिर से एक बार प्रेडिक्शन थोड़ा सा मिस हो गया है,
रॉन्ग हो गया, but I'll keep it's not a defense, but if the team management keeps dropping Chahal, as we had mentioned he should play, keeps playing Khaleel Ahmed, we had clearly mentioned that Khaleel Ahmed should not play, just because Jadeja comes in a spinning all-rounder, they get the extra fast bowler, and even against West Indies I said Khaleel Ahmed is not yet there. If the team management makes such changes, such schoolboy errors as I'll term it, then you don't blame me for the prediction. And my report card you can check with the individual players' performance.
Yeah. So that Mr. Ashutosh has been saying start से कि अगर आप इंडिविजुअल परफॉर्मेंस के साथ देखोगे तो इनका प्रेडिक्शन एकदम परफेक्ट होता है, बट टीम के साथ कोई क्या कर सकते हैं? इट्स अ डेज गेम
and it's a one-off game, so very difficult to predict. You can predict the series at best. Secondly, the players whom you expect to play, if they don't turn up, then you can give me the benefit of doubt.
Okay, so now we'll talk about the team. India lost to Australia in the first game, as you know, and we'll discuss one by one.
Okay.
First, the openers. They are good.
Not just the openers, top three are settled. You were after Shikhar Dhawan, I think, but now
I have let him go because now he's not playing the test matches anymore.
And I've told you then also that the top three settled Shikhar Dhawan. There is no doubt about.
I have cleared Shikhar Dhawan's name because he's not playing test, so he's good. So now the openers, what I'm talking about is the Rahul is out of the series, and they've gotten Shubman Gill in place of Rahul.
So as a backup opener.
But he is not an opener kind of a guy. But don't you think someone like Prithvi Shaw would have made much better?
But you don't know about Prithvi Shaw's fitness, considering the fact that he missed the test series because of his injury.
Yeah.
So Shubman Gill is, but it surprises me that there is no one else as a backup. I mean, Shubman Gill is young, fair enough, but I'm sure there could be some tried and tested backup opener. No names come to my mind.
Because Gambhir has retired now.
Okay.
Sehwag has retired, Gambhir has retired.
No names come to my mind.
Yeah.
But maybe Raidu can open.
Yeah.
And maybe get Kedar, Jadhav in the 11. So in case something happens to the opener, I mean, otherwise they are well settled.
Okay. So now, as you have taken the name of Raidu, we'll talk about Raidu.
That also I had mentioned.
You had
Raidu's claim to fame was a good series in Asia Cup, which is subcontinent conditions, and a good series against West Indies in India, which is a very lackluster attack. So even then I had mentioned that will give you one more chance, but that shouldn't guarantee your place against for the World Cup. So I still believe, I mean, I've been very vocal about it. Manish Pandey and Dinesh Karthik are my preferred number 4 and number 5 over Raidu and Dhoni.
Okay, so now we'll move on a little bit lower down the order. It is Ravindra Jadeja now. Taken in as like a spinning all-rounder.
See,
but the way he batted...
Fair enough, see, he can take that position as an all-rounder. But just because he plays doesn't mean that you need to play an extra pacer. Just because you are very reluctant to play 3 spinners. So Ravindra Jadeja, or for that matter, I like Krunal Pandya more than Ravindra Jadeja. So whoever comes in as that number 7 spinning all-rounder, assuming Hardik is not available, then the management is very reluctant to play Chahal and eventually plays Khaleel Ahmed, which I don't like. I've been mentioning that time and again.
So what do you see for the next match?
I don't know. Now they've got Vijay Shankar in the squad. The 2 additions to the squad, Vijay Shankar and Shubman Gill, are exactly the replacements for Hardik and KL Rahul. So good decision by the selectors to get them in. But Vijay Shankar can't bowl 10 overs.
Okay. So now let's move on. As you have already spoken about Khaleel Ahmed, we'll move on to the Australian team now. Jhye Richardson. What a bowling.
I was surprised by his performance. I mean, I've rated him very highly. But I remember him being tonked all over the park when he played against England. I think it was the game at Nottingham, which is a batting paradise. And I think England scored around 480 odd runs. And he had given, I think, 2 or 3 for 92.
Okay. So he was taken all.
So after that
cleaners.
series, he's made a comeback because he wasn't part of the team against South Africa.
Yeah.
I think Nathan Coulter-Nile was in the 11 then. So he's come into the 11 and done it in style. He got a Man of the Match award as well.
So there was one more bowler in the last match.
Who did
जिन्होंने
well?
debut किया, Berendorf.
Berendorf was on debut. Jhye Richardson had played earlier as well.
So he also performed very well.
Yeah,
So
we
Australian
spoke
attack
about him
looking-
as well. As the one to look out for. He doesn't have that kind of pace, but the swing which he gets, he got all balls to go away from the left-hander. I mean, he bowled it to the right-hander in the first over, and the first ball to the left-hander, Shikhar Dhawan, got it to come in. So Shikhar Dhawan was all at sea and got out first ball.
Now we move on to Peter Siddle. The big question the nation wants to know. Peter Siddle in the team. Bowling was not so impressive.
I have told you that I prefer Stanley to Peter Siddle.
Fielding was
He had dropped Rohit Sharma in the test match.
and even in the one day. So do you see Peter Siddle going out for the next match?
Yeah, Mitchell Marsh is fit.
Yeah.
I think Mitchell Marsh might come in place of Glenn Maxwell.
Okay, Glenn Maxwell,
Yeah.
the big.
Because the Big Show is slotted to bat in at number 7, so might as well get him. And I will prefer Stanley to Peter Siddle. I don't, because Australia might be reluctant to make the changes. I've mentioned that I don't like Glenn Maxwell as well in ODI cricket. I like him in T20 cricket. So I prefer. I mean, Mitchell Marsh gives you that bit of extra bowling over Glenn Maxwell.
Okay, so before we move on to the next ODI, you had a question for me, right?
The trivia.
The trivia, yes.
Okay.
So keep your ears open. And
Thisara
listen to
Bareva
this.
scored a very quick 100. I
Yeah.
think 57 or
57
58 balls against New Zealand. Okay, so pretty easy trivia. Who has the fastest ODI 100?
Okay, so you want only one or two?
Okay, top
Make
two.
it a bit difficult.
Make it top 3. We'll make it top 3.
Top 3? Okay. Now he's made even more difficult for me. So answer for that later in the show. Now we'll discuss the second ODI.
Okay.
Changes for India.
Changes for India. As Khalil Ahmed should go. I've been time and time again mentioned that Khalil Ahmed is not the backup to Bhuvi Bumrah.
Yeah.
Luckily, Shami played well. So I think Shami can take that position as a third seamer. Just because Khalil is a left armer, you are persisting with him. And even if you want to play with a second fast bowler, he should no way take Chahal's position. It was not too long ago that Chahal and Kuldeep had tormented the South African batting in South Africa. So if you can play two quality wrist spinners there, why not in Australia? And Australian pitches are nowadays way slower than South Africa. So just because of that spinning all-rounder coming in, due to Hardik's unavailability, you are reluctant to play Chahal, which should not be the case.
Okay. So Khalil Ahmed is surely out. Then
that's what I want. I don't know what the team management decides, and then eventually it'll have a bearing on my predictions, which will then go wrong.
Yeah. So any other changes in the team? Maybe Kedar, Jadhav or Vijay, Shankar.
I would have preferred. I like Kedar Jadhav a lot at 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Dinesh Karthik also I like him, but over Raidu or Dhoni. So maybe now I think because now Jadeja's position is under scrutiny, I think what the team management will do, I'll tell you. Again, Dinesh Karthik will be hard done by. Kedar Jadhav will come in there, and Jadeja will miss out, and Vijay Shankar will come in there, and Khalil will go out, and Chahal will come in. This is what the team management will do, I believe.
Yeah. So.
But the one question still remains: who will address the elephant in the room?
Mr. Dhoni. Yes.
What will happen? Dhoni will himself retire, or the selectors will give up on him? It's a question. Who blinks first?
I think it's just that they are persisting with him till the World Cup ends. So, just like 3-4 months.
A trader is as good as his last trade. And in 2018, he had an average of around 25.
Yeah.
And his strike rate is there for everyone to see. It is no longer as much as it used to be. Even the other day, he scored a 50. He hadn't scored a 50 in 2018 entirely. He scored a 15 in 2019's first match. But that the way he paced the innings lost India the match. Rohit Sharma also playing slow initially, but then once.
But don't you think he was just playing there just to save his wicket then, because India had lost?
But eventually, that's what. Eventually, at the position which he came in, he had to play slow. But he should accelerate later on. 90 ball 50 can be made a run ball 125, which Rohit Sharma did.
Okay, so any changes for Australia now?
Australia, as we discussed, I think we discussed about Maxwell Marsh, we discussed about Siddle making way for Stanley. That's it. Or maybe even Zampa for Lyon. But I think they won't make too many changes because they have won.
Yeah.
India, I believe, will make these 3 changes.
Okay. So now the trivia.
Yeah, I
the
think you
answer
can.
for the trivia. First, I know it is AB de Villiers in 31 balls against West Indies. It was a World Cup match.
2015 World Cup. I remember he coming around 35th, 37th over, and from there he got the first assignment. Second
is Corey Anderson, for sure. This was also against West Indies.
Okay.
2014, the New Year day.
Perfect. So 2014
it
and
was
2015.
in Queenstown. Yes, I know the details.
2014 and 2015.
Yes.
And
the third one, I'm not sure about it. Who is it?
Third one, so I
Very
think you had
bad.
prepared the question, so you were like, ask me only one, so you said only 1 or 2, so I said I'll ask you 3. So let me check.
But I knew the 2 answers. I don't know the third one.
Third would be Shahid Afridi, I believe. He had held the record for a long time, 37 balls.
Okay, so Shahid Afridi, you are still there in the top 3. So this was the show. If you like the video, please like, share the video with your friends. Comments, please comments लिखिए. सिर्फ ये मत लिखिए कि I am the first one to comment. If you have any suggestions, please do write in. And before we go, I forget your prediction for the next match.
I think with the loss, India will make the changes which I desire. That is at least Chahal. So I will still keep backing India.
India, now it's time to prove him right. Okay, so please, आपके comments जो है, आपके suggestions है, please नीचे लिखिए. This is me, Hansen, and Ashutosh signing off. Bye bye, and we'll see you before the 3rd ODI. So stay tuned.